First, let's talk about what this is. What is it? A quadratic. A quadratic equation. The equal sign right here makes it an equation, right? This is a quadratic equation. And so, if you look, my leading coefficient is 11, isn't it? And since the leading coefficient is 11, I cannot factor this, can I? So what let's do is let's factor out 11. Okay, let's factor out 11. But in order for me to factor out 11, I need to make sure it goes into each term. I know 11 goes into itself. Does 11 go into 132? How many times? 12, so it does. And does it go into 352? Yes. How many times? 32. Okay, so 11 goes into everything, which is convenient. So I'll write 11 times n squared minus 12n plus 32 equals 0. Okay, so I factored out the 11, but I still need to factor what's inside the parentheses, don't I? Now this goes in the form n squared, and then n, and then a number without a variable. Normally, if that factors, it factors into two what? Two binomials, like this. What times what is n squared? N times n is n squared. Now let's list our factors of 32 so that we can tell what number goes here and what number goes here. So 32 is 1 times 32. It's also 2 times 16. 3 doesn't go into it, but does 4? Yes. 4 times what? 8. 5 doesn't. Does 6? 6 times what? 6 doesn't. Does 7? No. Okay, so those are our factors. Now we're trying to figure out which of these factors add or subtract to give me negative 12. Yeah, but now if I do 8 plus 4, that gives me positive 12. I need negative 12. Yeah, so let's go negative 8 and negative 4, and that will give me negative 12, won't it? So before we do this, let's just make sure we're right. Negative 8 plus negative 4 is negative 12, isn't it? And negative 8 times negative 4 is positive 32, isn't it? Okay, so I'm not done. All I've done so far is factor it. What have I not done? I hadn't solved it, right? Now I need to solve for x, don't I? Do I need to take this 11 and set it equal to 0? No, because it does not have a variable associated with it, right? If you look at 11, there's no variable for me to solve for, is there? Is there? But now I need to take the n minus 8 and the n minus 4 and set them equal to 0. N minus 8 equals 0, and n minus 4 equals 0. And now I will add 8 on both sides, and I have n equals 8. And I will add 4 on both sides, and I have n equals 4. And those are my two solutions. Okay, now what's important is to recognize that if I were to draw a coordinate plane, we're saying that the graph is going to intersect the axis at the x-axis where? When we say our solutions are x equals 4 and x equals 8, we're saying it crosses the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, 4, right there, and 5, 6, 7, 8, right there, right? When we say our solution is x equals 4 and x equals 8, we're saying at both those locations, right, right here and right here, the graph's going to cross the x-axis. So now I know that my graph's probably going to look something like this. So what I'd like y'all to do now is stop and go in your calculator to y equals and put the original equation we had. Do you remember what tell me what the original equation was? 11n squared minus 132n minus what? Or plus what? Plus 352. So I want you to take this and put it in your calculator for y equals. And then when you go to graph it, press zoom 6. Don't press graph to graph, press zoom 6. And see if your graph looks like the graph that I've got right here.